This video we're going to be talking about music creators and content creators. So on the internet nowadays there's so many musicians and bands and rappers and singers and DJ mixers, whatever have you, who are trying to make it, and they're trying to put out songs and albums, and arguably most of that stuff is usually pretty crappy and there's a lot of garbage out there, but there's a lot of good stuff out there too, despite all the garbage, because there's so many people competing and trying to make it in this industry. And a lot of these people are nobodies, at least right now. They have a Facebook page and maybe they have a YouTube and they're trying to get a following, but it's not really working that well. And then there's a lot of these content creators. Specifically, we're going to be focusing on YouTube content creators, people who make YouTube videos. And there are a lot of very talented video editors and filmographers and gamers. And the thing is, they have a huge problem. They may form this amazing montage or this amazing video of a video game, or amazing natural scenery as they travel, or whatever else, and they can't find good music to sync it up right. I mean, choosing the right song is a bit of an art in it of itself. The wrong song for a specific video could really screw over how well the whole thing comes across. And it sucks because they can't really choose songs, because most of the songs they want are copyrighted, and if they get them, sometimes they'll be taken down, or they'll get a copyright strike and then their channel might be taken down. Or on top of that, the songs that they can choose are these royalty free type songs, and most of that crap sucks. And there are some good YouTube channels out there that give royalty free music. One of them is called No Copyright Sounds, and they pump out new songs every single day and they have like millions of viewers, and that's pretty good. And then YouTube has its own library, but I mean, arguably there's a lot of crap out there, and a lot of the no copyright, royalty free stuff is pretty bad. And arguably, there's some good stuff out there. There's this guy called Kevin MacLeod, and he's on like every other YouTube video, because he's like this freelancer who actually takes the time to make really decent and sometimes really good instrumental music with all types of genres and moods and instruments, and he gives it away for free, and he's like one of the only people to do that, so everyone's using his stuff. The point is, it's not perfect. And then, especially with a lot of these people who are starting out, they don't have a lot of choices because they don't have money, and they could spend money to pay for like a music license, but that's going to cost a lot, especially when it's like 20 to 50 bucks per song. So matching this up properly creates wonders, and it's hard to describe, but I've seen it so many times on YouTube. Like literally videos that have created tens of millions of views. I've seen it time and time again, from the video game community to the filmography slash natural scenery type industry and so forth. I'll give you a few channels if you want to search them up. There's Uber Danger. He is a video gamer on YouTube with hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and he does these very well edited video game montages that are just beautifully edited, and he uses songs by musicians. Then we have probably one of the biggest well-known examples, Devin Supertramp. He has millions of subscribers on YouTube, and his videos get millions of views because they're very well shot with high definition, top of the line video equipment, and then he knows his stuff, and then he goes to these extravagant, exotic places to shoot them, and then he pairs it with very good music, and it all just meshes really well, and he gets millions upon millions of views every week doing that. And there's a bunch more. There's a huge list. And every week and every month, there's more and more of these people who are just so talented coming out and just killing it. And they're used. And it's not easy to do. For every one who does it right, there's like 10 who do it wrong and suck at it. And there's even people who have small followings who are just monster video editors or just monster collectors of clips and synthesizers of all these amazing, synthesizers of all these amazing video game clips and all this stuff to create these amazing videos. Another great example is Diashan. He did a video called Another great example is a guy called Diashan. He has a very small following, and he's just another great example. I'll leave a link in the description. He does some really cool videos, honestly. So exactly how do you fix this? Well, I've kind of already hinted at how people have done it. Basically, if you're the musician or the content creator, rather than be stingy and then file copyright claims immediately when you see anyone post a video, even if it only has like 20 views, rather than be stingy and post like a copyright claim every time you see someone using your music without your permission, even if that video only has like 10 views, maybe you should let them use your music. My recommendation is that you let them know as well as you can on your channel, on your Facebook, that you can use my music, but you have to credit me and link back to my Facebook. I think the best way of going is Facebook I think for musicians and bands, I do think Facebook is probably one of the best ways for you to grow a following. YouTube can work as well, but I just think I've seen a lot of musicians grow on Facebook using this method. And it's very important that you get them to credit you, because you will get a lot of traffic from people coming in trying to figure out who did this song and maybe be curious about your other music. And you never know who might use your music. It could be a very talented video editor or just a guy who's doing something for fun. Sometimes they won't ever post a video again, but that one video they do, and I've seen this a few times, that one video they do, boom, 100,000 views. And then that grows to 500,000 views in the next year. And then you get a ton of traffic coming to you from people watching that video in some obscure niche that you're not a part of, like this specific video game. And then they hear about your music, they find about your content, and then they like you. And that's literally the strategy that helped a band/rap group called Can't Stop Won't Stop grow a following from nothing to a really decent following on Facebook. And then they released their album and got hundreds of thousands of dollars from that. Ideally, you want to get them to link you in their video. And honestly, that's a tough thing for video creators to actually want to do. So, I mean, if they refuse, I think you should still let them do it as long as they link you at the minimum in their description of the video. But for whatever reason, video content creators, I think it's because it's too obtrusive, but ideally you want them optimally to link to you at the start of the video in like the bottom, like one of those MTV type things, and then at the end of the video, or just like somewhere big on the video. But you know, content creators, they don't want it to be too obtrusive because it may detract from the full delivery of the content. So if you're lucky, I think generally speaking, you might be able to get them to mention you at the end of the video, but usually they prefer just putting it in the description, which is good enough. I mean, which is really good enough. It's better that than nothing. I mean, they're using your content, which I think is important. And then that goes to content creators. So these people are already kind of doing it, but if you guys don't know about this, I think it's something that may be of use. So you can shop around, look at these channels. If you find something interesting, you can contact them either by sending a direct message through their YouTube. In their about section, there's a button that says send a message, or you can comment below and hope they read it, or you can find out if they have any social media like Facebook and then go there and then comment on their post, or if there's that message me button, you can message them and then you can go from there and ask them if you can use their music, and preferably if you can monetize your video while using that music. Personally, I've had some issues with this myself, and I think I could have done and I think I could have delivered a lot more really cool stuff if it wasn't for these copyright claims. And I can't say it's completely, you know, and I understand it, and I understand that prominent musicians want to be paid for their work. But I do think, as far as the burgeoning industry of new musicians, I do think there's quality stuff out there. But there is a bit of a problem with creators finding it and being able to use it, and musicians getting their word out. So I heard about this new website that may be of use. I don't know. It's still in beta. It may not be of use. It hasn't been released yet, but it's called usemysongs.com. That's usemysongs.com, and basically it's pretty much what it is. You log in, and then if you're a creator, you can find musicians and then just ask them directly. Or if you're a musician, you can post your stuff on there and get creators and spread word about yourself. I just find it a pretty cool idea. Again, this isn't like a sponsored thing or anything. It's just something I heard about that may be of use to some of you guys out there. Thanks for watching. As always, like and subscribe. I will see you in my next video. Peace.